Sorry for running so late, everybody. I just... Oh, that's loud. I woke up later than I intended because I had a busy day today. I will share more details about that in a second. Let people know that I'm live. Put up all the things. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm late. I'll get more into what happened today in just a second. Let people know that I'm live. There's the stream element spot. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, sorry about being late, everybody. Yeah, it was. Today's been a busy day. I needed to go pick up my medication and my mail from, because there's this clinic that does called Healthcare for the Homeless, that is where I get a lot of my medical stuff, and also they have a mailbox for me there because I move around so much, that it helps to have a single legal address for all of my important government paperwork. So I knew I had mail to go pick up, and I had to get there before a certain time in order to be it was either I had to get there before the attendant went on lunch, or I had to get there after the attendant came off lunch. But there's this weird window where I wanted to get my mail and go to the pharmacy. But so the attendant who I have to go to get my mail from goes on lunch between noon and 1. The pharmacy goes on lunch between 1:30 and 2. So as soon as it hits noon, you pretty much have to wait till after 2 p.m. if you want to hit both of them in the same trip, because they're in the same building. So I set an alarm for myself. I woke up super early. And I was ready to start the day really early, but my roommate's girlfriend wasn't feeling really well. And so I was up, I was dressed, I was ready. Well, dressed is probably an overstatement, but But yeah, I was ready to go, but my roommate's girlfriend is the one who's driving, and she wasn't feeling well. So, like, we waited for a little bit. She asked me to make her something to eat, so I made some ramen because my roommate was busy with other stuff. Because there's always something going on at the house. And then like after all that, she still wasn't feeling well. So I was like, all right. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna go lay down. Just tell me if you're going to be good to go. And just as I'm laying down, right, I get a call. It's like, hey, like it was like maybe like 30, 40 minutes later, and it was like going on 11:30, right? And they're like, hey, we're getting ready to go. Do you still want to go now or do you want to go later? And I'm like, if I want to do my thing and not have to make 2 trips, we either need to leave right now or after 2 p.m. Because I'm not going to try to hit that window in the middle. That 1 to 1:30 window. Because sometimes the people in the pharmacy go to lunch. I think sometimes they go to lunch at 1. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to hit that window. Yeah, definitely troublesome, Nabiru. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll go do your trip now, and then we'll go run the other errands right after. And I'm like, okay. So we went, ran those errands. I came back, and then I finally laid down. And it took me a little bit, but I did eventually get back to sleep because like I didn't like I hadn't slept much the night before. Like I'd gone to sleep like 4 or 5, and I'd woken up about like 9:30. So I didn't get a full night's sleep. I needed to get some more sleep. So I ended up going back down to get to sleep somewhere between like 12:30 and 1 was when I eventually like went back down, and I woke up intermittently as I was sleeping. And it's funny, like I finally started, like I set an alarm for myself to wake myself up in time to get food and be ready for stream. And I slept through the alarm. So I know I got some sleep because I slept through the alarm. I set my alarm for 6:30, and I woke up at 7:48, and it took me a while to just be like getting my gears rolling, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, I want to stream. So I've got to set up the stream because you have to do that. You can't just press start stream. Well, you can kind of, but it's not as effective, and it's a bit more complicated. But in YouTube, you're supposed to create the stream before you press start stream. So I had to create the stream, and then I went to go make some quick food because I knew I couldn't stream on an empty stomach. I've done that before, and it ended terribly. But yeah, how was everybody's weekend? What did everybody get up to this weekend? I talked a bit about my day. I'll talk a little bit more about what happened this weekend. Might change up the music tonight. Chaos but fun. What happened? trying to play D&D with family. That sounds exciting. So were you doing like a role play thing, like one of your role play games with family? Uh, oh, that's exciting. Were you doing like a one shot or is it part of an ongoing campaign? Like how does that end up working out, Nabaru? Oh, okay. So what kind of character did you play, Nabaru? Ah, a sorcerer, a stubborn chun. Yeah, sorcerer would be a chunibyo. I was watching this. Yeah, I was watching. I was reading this thing on Twitter. There's this guy who does shitty ideas, but they're actually really good ideas. But he just calls them shitty because it helps with his self confidence issues, where he doesn't feel pressured to come up with something good if he can call everything shitty. And it's a good mental trick in order to help himself keep the creative ideas flowing. But like and it's really funny when people are like, "This idea is not shitty at all. This is a great idea." And he's like, and he has the same post he shares that's like Thanos holding the reality stone, where Thanos says reality can mean whatever I want. Except he's replaced reality with the word shitty. Um, anyway, he had one idea that was really interesting about a sorcerer character. Well, it was a wizard character. Is like, so a sorcerer, your powers come from your body. They come from within you, right? Um, and a a wizard means you're learning to control the magic that's in the world around you. And the idea was a wizard who once was a powerful sorcerer but somehow lost access to lost their magic that was in their body. So now they've had to study the hard way in order to reclimb that mountain to regain powers like what they had before, except they're going to have to do it through learning this time instead of through their own natural talent. Something like that, Nabiru. Something like that. Part of me wants to play a sorcerer magical girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, someone did make a. Someone has made a. There are a few things. Okay. Well, they even put a. I found someone's homebrew magical girl sorcerer archetype. I don't know. Would Megaman count as a like? She is the pretty witch type of magical girl, so I could see that. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Let me see. I'm reading this archetype someone made for a sorcerer magical girl, and it's actually pretty good. Oh, this isn't bad. Um, uh, yeah, someone made a magical girl. Oh, what? They intended this to be a uh barbarian, sorcerer, or warlock subclass. That's interesting, but they don't have. Uh, they don't have any stuff for the additional spell list or additional things for barbarian. I guess you could technically consider. I mean, I guess I haven't thought of that before. Like, so with a barbarian, I've reflavored the barbarian's rage. Like, people have reflavored it as like a Super Saiyan transformation, right? I've reflavored it as morphing, like as a Power Ranger, but I've never really thought of reflavoring the magical girl, reflavoring it as a magical girl transformation. That actually adds a lot of different flavor uh to the barbarian if you reflavor the rage as a magical girl transformation. Buff magical warrior girl. Very good question. Dendrogram. Okay. Eh. I'm reading the descriptor of another. Someone made a sorceress origin for it. I found two different magical girl thing. A cute, fun game world anime. Oh, that's Dendrogram? Okay. Maybe I'll look into it sometime. I will. Excuse me. Ah, side character has a mecha. Okay. So my weekend was interesting. Like it it was yeah, it was definitely interesting. Um I'd been really thoughtful ever since watching that Critical Role episode, and it really got me thinking about a lot of different things, right? Um because the latest Critical Role episode dealt with it dealt with romance, it dealt with relationships, and it dealt with like what it means to be in a relationship, what that looks like with the like I talked about this like with the two robots being in love, and like what does that mean in that situation, like what is the essence of what is a relationship. And that was also very important to think about because like growing up, right, I grew up in like content warning, I'll talk a little bit about religion here, about my religious background. um I grew up in this uh very like dedicated Catholic group. Like my family was very religious. Um and one of the things I was always told was that like every like every relationship should be building towards marriage, and then the goal of marriage is to have a bunch of kids and all of that stuff, right? Um, and I've since learned how wrong that is. That there's far more to life than just making a bunch of kids. There's so much more to life. Um, and that was a big deal for me. And that was one of the things I thought about with like the robots being uh in London. I didn't just learn that now. I've learned that over, few over the years. Has been like a process. It's a process of growing and developing and awakening. Um, but getting reminded of it, getting a refresher of all that stuff was definitely interesting. I ended up talking to because I had reached out a while back. I talked about this on stream before that I was going to um reach out to my ex to see if we could try to be friends again, and we did, and we've become really close friends, and we were just having a lot of good times to talk to each other, and um um when we talked about it, my ex was like, you want to talk about this? You seem like you have a lot of stuff on your mind. And I talked about it. I'm like, what does it mean for me to like add someone back and add a relationship to my life? And um one thing led to another. I'm not going to go into the details because I haven't asked them for like permission to share too much stuff. But suffice it to say, I am now in a relationship again. And figuring out what that means is part of this interesting journey for me. What I've learned, how I've grown, what we've learned, how things will be different. Oh, hello, Tribar. I was talking about my weekend. Uh, in vague terms. Uh, how are you doing, Tribar? All right. Mhm. I had a busy day. I had a whole thing earlier where like I woke up super early because I had to go pick up my mail and my medication from the clinic where I have my mailbox, and um but then my ride was just not feeling well, and it's one of the things when you live with people who have like debilitating like conditions that like it's easy to be understanding and caring um when it comes to people having situations like that, when they're having situations where their body's not responding, when they're not feeling well, when they're feeling under the weather. It's really easy to be like, oh, I hope you feel better, and yada yada. But then um what's important is that you keep that same energy, even if their situation going bad uh does sometimes fall back on you, because having to understand that some of this stuff just isn't in their control, right? My roommate's girlfriend was gonna be my ride, and she has problems with like her body just not responding sometimes, just not feeling well and not being functional, and um so she had one of those mornings where she just wasn't functional, and I hadn't gotten much sleep because I wanted to make sure I woke up early and so we could go do these things. Um, I ended up making her some food because my roommate was busy with a bunch of other things. Um, and we uh, when I as I saw that, as I kind of just made peace with it and accepted that like maybe we weren't going to pick up my mail and my medicine today. I'm not out of anything, so I could stand away today, right? I didn't technically need my medicine until like the end of the month, but I wanted to pick it up now. Um, because I just wanted to make sure I had it in case something happens, in case there's an unforeseen circumstance and I have to go somewhere. Don't want to be running out of my medicine at the end of the month. Um, but it was just my diabetes med, so I just had to accept that like she wasn't feeling well. So I was like, okay. I told her like, listen, I get it. I know what it's like whenever your body just doesn't respond to what you want it to do. Um, I'm gonna go back downstairs and lay down. Call me whenever you're feeling better and we can see what time it is and see like go from there. It was like hour and a half later. I'm just starting to wind down and starting to get ready to doze off. Um, and I get a call from my roommate and he's like, "Yeah, we're all talking. She's feeling better, getting ready to go." And I look at the time and it's like 11:30, right? And I'm like, if I want to get both my mail and my medicine, I have to get there before the attendant at the mailbox at the front desk goes on lunch, and before the pharmacy goes on lunch. The attendant goes on lunch at noon, from noon to 1, and the pharmacy goes on lunch from 1:30 to 2. So they're like, "Do you want to go now or do you want to go later?" And I was like, "Okay, here's the thing. If we go now, we have to go right now. um, we have to go right now, and or we have to go sometime after 2 p.m. Right? So, um, they're like, okay, cool, we'll go do that. So, got ready, people got dressed and all that other stuff, and then we went, right? And I picked up my medication. I knew I had mail. And for all of that stuff where I was rushing to get there before the attendant went on break so that way I could pick up my mail was another letter telling me that um the emergency allotment for food stamps had ended, so my food stamp number uh was going to be lower than it had been in previous like 2 months ago. And I'm like, they did that last month. I don't need this letter. I'm rushing here, and that's all it was. Like, I was hoping it would be like, hey, we've made it. Here's a positive decision on your disability or something like that. But like, no, it was this redundant letter that I didn't even need to pick up because I'd already gotten my food stamp allotment. I already put two and two together and was like, okay, the emergency allotment ended like not last month but the month before that, so obviously it's not going to turn back on. So that was a little bit frustrating. To have gone through all of that rushing and stress to get there, and then just it be not a whole lot of stuff. I Then after I got home, I tried to lay back down and uh get some sleep, but I had some trouble winding down after running around and doing errands and stuff. I did eventually sorry. I did eventually fall asleep and get to sleep. But and I know I got to sleep because I set an alarm to wake myself up at 6:30 so I'd have time to make food before stream. and I know I fell asleep because I slept through the alarm. I woke up at like 7:48. And I was like, stream starts at 8:30. Rush. And even with all of my rushing, I still ended up starting like 2 minutes late. That's funny. But what can you do? You can only do what you can do, you know? Yeah. So I've had a busy day. Uh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so that was a thing that happened. Now I'm here. I had to like boot up things as I was getting started. And I'd be yawning today. I like scarf down some food real fast. I'll probably eat something more substantial after stream. Uh, but yeah, Tribar is it is good to see you. I'm glad you got some rest today. But yeah, stuff happened this weekend. Then we had a new player hang out with us in the Lancer chat. We didn't exactly have a Lancer session on Sunday. But we went over character stuff and character builds and a quick overview of a lot of the events of the campaign. It was actually interesting. It was kind of like a small mental clip show going through some of the highlights and adventures of the campaign so far. That was fun. All right. Yeah. Second. Send a message real quick. So also wanted to share with all of you, like I was just saying, um, stuff happened. I won't go into all of the details, but I am now in a in a relationship again, and Tribar here is my partner. Um, so it is a growing experience, and I believe it is good. It is a good thing. So, share that with all of you. All right, let's. All right, let's get. All the things started. Oh no. YouTube chat is weird sometimes. Like, so I have the basic bot for YouTube in going, and I have the Stream Elements bot. Um, but it's really bizarre what it catches sometimes. What were you trying to say? I realize it doesn't have the same impact if you just say it as it does whenever you use emojis. Aww. Oh, kissy face. There you go. That looked like it came through. I'm not super great about emojis. It's all like I grew up using like right, Nabaru, it really does catch the weirdest things sometimes. Like Nabaru, you can attest to it. Like you've tried saying like the names of some shows and it's caught and the bot has caught you, right? I remember that being a thing that you were dealing with, Nabaru, where the bot was catching you saying just random names of shows. So when I say catch, I mean the bot will um flag the statement and stop it. Yeah. Um where it won't let it through. Like you'll type it and then it won't come through in chat. Right. Where you see it but nobody else sees it. Hmm. Like you've been caught in the net of the bot. Let me see if there was any other cool memes to share. Someone made some really cool. Oh, those must be the. So I'm looking at this video someone shared of them. I guess they were working on the D&D movie and the props for one of the characters. I still need to see the D&D movie. It's on my list of things to do. Oh yeah, that was another thing that happened. So like I got in the mail from one of my other places where I have my mail delivered a new copy of my debit card, right? And like I uh I I was like, what's wrong with my debit card, right? So I log into my bank app, and then when I logged into my bank app, I saw my bank account was in the negative, and I'm like, what? I knew I was low. And then I check it and it says that there's a monthly fee, and I'm like, I haven't had a monthly fee in forever that I know of. Did some research, found out Uber stopped partnering with GoBank. And so now we have to pay monthly fees again. And I'm like, because at first I thought it was just because I haven't driven for Uber in so long because I haven't been able to work. And then I was just scrambling to do the research to be like, am I going to get hit with an overdraft fee, right? Um, and I was like doing this research, and I found out that if as long as you don't go more than $10 and you're qualified, as long as you don't go more than $10 and you're qualified for overdraft protection, there's not going to be a fee. I'm like, well, I never applied for overdraft protection, right? Um, and I put my money in manually because I get from my temporary disability. I just get it and then I manually put the money in at at like CVS. And then it's like if you go into the negative and you get it back up into the positive within 24 hours, there won't be a fee. I'm like, okay. So then I was scrambling, asking around, be like, hey, can I get $10 and blah blah. I even made a Twitter post about it, right? And someone who I look up to, a very close friend of a close, very close friend and mentor of mine, was like, yeah, I can help you, and they helped me out with that, which was nice. It was nice to not have to freak out about that. But like for a solid minute, I was freaking out about that. Like, and I was like, I was having flashbacks to before when I was like going into when I used to go into the overdraft all the time with my old bank accounts. I didn't even know GoBank allowed you to go into overdraft. Normally, it just doesn't even let the transaction go through. But I guess it had to do it for the whatchamacallit, the monthly fee. But yeah, so that was the thing that happened. Alrighty. Let's switch over, let's switch gears, and let's get rolling with tonight's stream. We spent a little bit more time chit-chatting, but there's more stuff to talk about. Okay, so when we last left off working on this project, we were talking about, we were introducing, let me put it so I can see the chat. There we go. We were introducing the air pirate Reef Stormblood via having it go from the perspective of this nameless ship and this unnamed crew who are intentionally kept unnamed in order to have this reference that they were just another statistic. They were just another ship that was attacked by air pirates. They were just another statistic that was used by cannon sellers in order to sell bigger and better cannons. So at this point, Reef Stormblood's walked very calmly, and one of the things that defines her is that she has this cool confidence, and she is this void of all passion. Like you'd expect there to be some kind of excitement for someone walking through a battlefield, but she's absolutely calm. She's absolutely calm, not bored, but just not passionate. Okay, get my other notes. Alright, green eyes, black hair. Okay. Alright, Tribar. It was good talking to you. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Okay. So this is one thing I wanted to keep, which was the line about the white bands that unify them. Okay. Okay. So one with a web. Let me look at how I have this in the original draft. Ugh. Okay, I want to look at how I had this originally. Oh, ooh. Now that I'm reading how I wrote this in the original, like I wrote this really well. And I'm not sure that I really captured that in this one. I think it was kind of flat here. Okay. There's some mechanics I want to add in from the original that I like. They're pulling along the port side. I'm putting a little bit more detail here, because I want to flesh this out a little bit. I want to describe the fight. You want to describe the fight personally. I know I should be saving this for like, uh, for like a second draft or editing or like well, third draft really. But like, it's gonna bug me if I don't fix this. Okay, I like that better. It feels more visceral. Whenever you're describing a fight, you want to describe the effect it's having on the fighters. You want to make it personal. Uh, Hey, Captain Patriot, how are you doing? What is the official meaning of the phrase hogwash? I want to make sure I'm using it properly. How was your weekend, Captain Patriot? Hogwash means. Okay. Repost. I'm good. Just got up from sleeping. I'll be regretting that later. My weekends. My volume seems low. Okay, let me check something. Pop, pop. My mic is set to max. Let me see. Is that any better? I turned up the mic a little bit. Okay. I don't know. It might be. I don't know how it is with the TV. I know there's always some like weird things with volume between headset and TV. So why will you be regretting sleeping later? Did you sleep in? Did you miss something? Oh geez, sleeping since your trip at 4:30. That's a nice big nap there, Captain Patriot. Oh, you'll be up all night. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. You slept through the day, so that means you won't be able to sleep tonight. I gotcha. Hey Tom, just doing some writing. How was your weekend, Tom? Okay. So in this part here, what's happening is, for the first time, we're getting an expression of the air pirate's philosophy. The air pirate holds this very dangerous, very anti-humanist philosophy. Um, uh, this philosophy that every advancement that humanity creates is only fulfilling a need that humanity has already created themselves, so that nothing new is happening. You're just fulfilling you're just creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're only creating problems to create solutions to those problems. And that it's all going to be cyclical and nothing is going to be happening. There's no advancement, there's no development. And on a surface level, this seems like a profound thought, right? Because you're like, oh, yeah, we create that happens so much where we create problems, then we create solutions to those problems, and we are our own worst enemy. But then once you look into it, you realize every time we develop new solutions, that creates new opportunities and new things for humanity to do and new directions for people to go in. So this philosophy breaks down once you examine it very closely. Yeah, something like that. That is the Air Pirates philosophy, that um, that humanity has reached a dead end, and that humanity has become incapable of uh, creating a new future. That everything they do is just going to be uh, making more problems for themselves, that they're going to have to find solutions for in the future, and those solutions will just cause more problems, and that it's all just pointless, and that there's no point in continuing human society. Um, which ignores like the intrinsic value of human life. But the air pirate the air pirate won't hear any of those counter arguments. Okay. How do you say please, as in you're pleading for? Like you're asking for something. What is it? Yeah, you're pleading for something. Plea. So past tense is pleaded. A plea, but a multiple plea. So would that just be please? Pleads. No. Yeah, it's please without the E. Okay. All right. Pleas. Okay. I realized it wasn't like please, like, can I please have this? Yeah, I was looking. I had to look it up. I had to ask Google. Mm. Pleaded or pled, also plead. Okay. Okay, how did I do this in the original? I liked how I did this in the first draft. Let me take a look. Alright. Okay, let me see. Okay. Mm. Do-do-do-do. Pay for that decision. Oh, you're working on a story as well? Cool. Tell us about that story, Captain Patriot. What are you working on? I'm familiar with Tomb Raider. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. Like, I think everyone's heard of Tomb Raider, at least everyone in the gaming space. Like, I've seen the Tomb Raider. I've seen a couple of the Tomb Raider movies. 'Cause there were like two, weren't they? Um, mm, and I think I might have played a demo. I'm familiar with the concept. Laura Croft is a archaeologist slash adventurer who ends up getting caught up in saving the world and stuff. Hmm. Okay. Laura Cruz. Okay. Came up with a biography for her and outline for the story. Okay. So you created a whole story for this Laura Cruz character. Okay. taking this from the other one because I like how I did this better. The unnamed captain of this unnamed ship fell, soon to be forgotten by history. Just another statistic used by cannon makers to sell more weapons to merchant ships. Another poor soul lost at the hands of the deadly pirate Grief Stormblood. All right. So you want to share any of the stuff from that biography or any of the things that you're working on for that, Captain Patriot? You said you had a story or two. Are you like making multiple stories about Laura Cruz? Oh, you're typing it up? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Alright. She's a Peruvian fitness model after her mother pushed her to get into modeling professionally. Her father did stuff, but she never really knew that. She loved going out with him, exploring the lands around them. So I think Laura did the fitness modeling as a way to appeal to them both. Okay. Doing the fitness, doing the modeling. Okay. Okay. Alright, I like this chapter. This chapter came together really well. It fleshed out really well. Like sometimes it takes some doing to get up to the word count that I want for the chapter, but this one did really well. 2,500. And how many words did I have I written so far tonight? At least like what, 500 to 600 words so far tonight. 727. Okay. Well, plus some other words. I added a couple sentences here and there in the previous chapter, in the previous part of the chapter, and some editing. So yeah, I'd say like 750 to 800 words so far tonight. The nearby village got attacked as well as their home. She was the only one to survive when the government refused to allow her to inherit her home, calling it product of a criminal enterprise. Criminal enterprise? Goodness gravy. So she joins the rebels. I mean, as you do. Alright. What's the next chapter? Exciting incident. Introduce Rosicrucius to the ruling party. Grief finds a letter in one of her raids. The man should meet with them or else they reveal her true identity. Grief with first mate flocks. They demand. Okay. Ugh. It's funny, tonight after I'm done with stream, I'm gonna be playing some Yu-Gi-Oh with my roommate, which will be nice. I've been working a lot on my Machina deck, and I ordered some parts for it, so it'll be good to test those out. After a while, a rich fellow offers to bankroll the rebels in exchange for lore to assist him in locating this ancient artifact and to act as his escort and bodyguard between trips. Okay. Now, I remember in Indiana Jones, there was a whole thing where the artifacts were actually really dangerous and really powerful. So, like, stopping the bad guys from getting the artifact wasn't just a matter of, like, historical significance and, like, getting things to museums or whatever. It was also a matter of you had to keep the bad guys from getting some doomsday device. Was that a thing in Tomb Raider? Were the artifacts actually dangerous in Tomb Raider? Okay. Okay. Well, I look forward to reading it whenever you have it all put together, Captain Patriot. Okay. Okay, Captain Patriot. I remember one game had a glitch that would make Laura explode on her pulling a gun on the player. Oh, jeez. People are always going to be doing naughty things, and you buy things, Nabiru. All right, this. There's got to be a more natural way to do that besides just having an info dump. So I'm gonna do probably a flashback. I'll probably do a flashback to Grief's backstory. Ah. I don't do the flashback till till chapter 17. Okay. So I'll do the info dump there. Chapter 17. Ugh. Okay, I want to define location. Flying over the wilderness in another part of the country, a ship. Okay, there we go. That's better. That creates a location. Okay. Okay, let me see. Quarterdeck. Okay. Just to make sure that it was the quarterdeck. Like I know it's the quarterdeck. I've done enough research for this freaking story. How did I describe Fox? It always amazes me what I came up with for certain things. So this is where I wanted to reference where like every person that they kill still weighs on grief. But she doesn't deal with it in a healthy manner. Um, she just kind of ends up leaning further into the destructive situation. Okay. Okay. Bup. Okay. All right. Okay, so here is where we're starting to get into the high altitude mode. I'm not sure if I'm really doing what I wanted to do this chapter. I'll say that the letter is attached to one of the barrels. Is ramped not a... Okay. Okay. There we go. So let me put this in my notes that letter is going to be found on the barrel whenever they're unloading. When they're unloading once they get to Domus. All right, how many words did we get written down tonight? Let me make a note of this. Okay. All right. How many words did we get done tonight? I know we did a bit. I'm hoping we got at least 1,000 words. 11, 1177. I got other miscellaneous words in there too. Okay. Mm, 1,100 words isn't anything to shake a stick at. I normally like to get 1,400 words, but you know, with the other things and the editing that had to get done, and with starting a little bit late, we lost like 20, 30 minutes on what we normally have for these streams because I was talking for a bit longer. That's okay. All right. All right. So, ah, tonight was a good night. We shared a bunch of stuff. People shared some great stories. I'm really excited to hear more about that story you're working on, Captain Patriot. Oh no. Thank you, Captain Patriot. I look forward to seeing your work. Mm. All right. Oh, gee. Someone made a meme about your day went by quick, Nabiru. Oh, what'd you get done today, Nabiru? A Leon cosplayer made a point to make a joke about all the things in the RE4 um, remake that you could fit inside your briefcase and all the, like the huge weapons. And like, it's just really funny. Oh, you're making custom Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh dear. Sounds exciting. can't be worse than official. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. This is what I was talking about, where this some Leon cosplayer was making a joke about all the things that Leon fits into a briefcase, because all that stuff can fit in the briefcase. But then look at the size of the briefcase. It's like, wait a minute. Find some other good memes. You can hold multiple guns, ammo belts, even launchers and explosives in your pocket. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard Goblin Slayer was getting a season 2 somewhere. D&D with the single most sadistic DM. Yeah. Any of the character names? In what? Characters have names in Goblin Slayer? I haven't seen it. I've watched the first episode. I wasn't impressed. I've seen clips and stuff. I'm aware of the basic premise. Not a fan. It just feels overly edgy. Like, I kind of like the idea of the protagonist being someone who's so devoted to his mission that he has eschewed all desire for anything else. But then, like, there's that inspirational thing at the end. Yeah. There's that thing at the end where, like, he actually needs help, and he finally asks for help, and all the people he's helped so far come through to help him, and that's like a cool moment, right? That's a cool moment. And then the whole thing, whenever they want to see him without his helmet on, because no one's seen him without his uh what? Huh? Silva. So Garza is Silva's D&D character. What does that have to do with Garza having 4 swords? Like, isn't Goblin Slayer's thing that he always uses the cheapest equipment possible, so that way if he dies, he won't leave any good equipment for the goblins to use? And also, goblin blood causes most weapons to rust and break down quickly, so it's not worth using expensive weapons if you're going to be hunting goblins, because it'll just wear through them really fast. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. That happened in the first episode. Uh-huh. Okay, let's see if Facebook has any cool memes. It's funny, so like on Twitter, there's the For You page and then there's the following page. And seeing the For You page just gave me so much just mental depression of seeing all of the bad news, the bad takes, the BS stuff, the transphobic BS and stuff on the For You page. That like I just switched over to the following page where I'm only seeing people I'm following and I've noticed my mental health being noticeably better. Uh-huh. Like, but that's not a thing in D&D. Like the whole it's too cramped for your long swords, it's too cramped for your great sword. Like the most that would happen would be something like if you were in a situation where you were in a space that was too small for you to be standing in everywhere. Like, let me put it this way. That's not in the rules as written, and I know that our DM wouldn't enforce something like that. Now, if you were in a cavern where the walkways were less than 5 feet wide, so you didn't have enough room to standard maneuver and do stuff, I guess you could get disadvantage on the attack rolls. Um, but eh. Like it would be more of a thing if you were trying to use like an oversized weapon or something. Because using oversized weapons is already a house rule. Not really. It's already an optional rule. All right. Oh my gosh. I saw one says, I don't normally brag about my expensive trips, but I just got home from the vet. That's funny. Oh. Somebody did a TED talk about Tucker from Danny Phantom. Why did you just send me, Silva? Do-do-do. Oh my gosh. Someone did a meme. Hold on, I gotta share this one. It's always fun when people say things on the internet that is, um, people post things on the internet. Someone's sculpting out the article from Kuga. Okay. It's funny when people say these unrealistic things, and it's just like lies. I asked my husband which PS5 he wants, digital or not. He says my PS4 is still working. Just add the money to our investment account and buy Sony stocks. Everything in this house is different. It's almost like people have lied, but never have they lied like you. Pinocchio's nose grew and he didn't even tell the lie. All right, I got a question for you, Silva. Actually, you don't have pets, so I don't think this has ever happened to you. Have Have you ever had a mic on during a work meeting when you didn't realize you were unmuted and said something like if you were talking to your roommate or something and say something that just comes out embarrassing? It sounds really ridiculous outside of context. Has that ever happened to you, Silva? Because I know you do the work from home stuff. Nope, never. Ah, screaming children. But you don't have any screaming children. Ah, back in from a different call. Okay. saw this one. People often say they hope their deceased dog is chasing squirrels in doggy heaven. What do those squirrels do to deserve an afterlife of torment? Dog heaven is also squirrel hell. It's a very efficient system. I can't stop freaking laughing at the thought of squirrels sinning so much in the mortal plane that they have to be sent to squirrel hell to atone. They know that bird feeder isn't meant for them. See, this is an interesting. Oh, okay. Good night, Captain Patriot. Thanks for coming to stream. It was great having you, and I can't wait to hear more about your story. So, this is something I wanted to share that is a classic writing lesson to learn that I think is very important. Let me read this. Once I read about this writing concept called the werewolf problem, and it basically asks, how do you kill a werewolf? Well, normal answers would be all silver bullets, beheading, etc. But werewolves aren't real. You can kill one however your story needs you to. Whatever you do, it just has to make sense for your story. Wood chippers? I presume there's a story that I'm not aware of there. Bobby Singer substitute. Yeah, I presume there's some kind of story there that I'm just not aware of. It's from Supernatural. There was an episode Bobby was trying to kill, I think, an Okami, which can normally only be killed by a bamboo dagger blessed by a Shinto priest. The Okami fell in the wood chipper. Oh, neat. Ah. Anyone says werewolves are not real, you can respond with true, but lycanthropy is, just to annoy them. What do you mean lycanthropy is? Is there an actual disease called lycanthropy? Alright, let's look it up. Rare psychiatric phenomenon. Hmm. There have only been 43 recorded cases of lycanthropy. Huh. Neat. Yeah. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Why is there Magic the Gathering memes? Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, I gotta share this one. This is only gonna make sense to people who know Magic the Gathering lore. Which, or know, or are familiar with this, but it's too funny to not share. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. I'd like to join blank. I don't even know what the Gatewatch is, but Ah, what's with the big paws? Looks down. Oh, I've always had these. Because Ajani is an anthropomorphic lion. So the joke is that Ajani has giant paws. Aww. Mm. I haven't played Magic in years. I haven't touched a Magic the Gathering deck in years. All right. This will be the last one before we do our outro for the night. I don't know who else needs this, but here's a photo of my cat teaching the new kitten to walk up the stairs. Aww. Look at the kitten learning. That is a big kitten though. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Let's wind down. Okay, so as usual, I like to say something nice about and give a shout out to all of my viewers. So let's scroll up to the top here. I say to Silva, to Nabiru, to Tribar, uh, to Captain Patriot, to Tom, and to anyone else who watched the stream and lurked in the background and didn't say anything, and to anyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say that I love all of you and I believe in each and every one of you. I think that you all are truly wonderful, special, one of a kind, and unique. I think that you each bring something special to everything you do that only you can. I believe that each one of you makes this world a better place just by living in it, and I'm grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your energy. I appreciate it greatly. And I thank you for being a member of this community and working towards helping each other reach our goals. Always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the meal. Um, if you want to keep, oh, I asked that, let me get this right in order. Things get out of order in my head sometimes. I asked that you like the stream. It helps the algorithm with pushing it out to more people. If you have any friends or family you think might enjoy the stream, feel free to invite them to the next stream or to show them any of my content. Always looking to add more people to the community. With that said, if you ever want to keep up with what I'm doing here on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already and ding the notification bell. Just check to see if you're subscribed. I know that sometimes it'll automatically unsubscribe people. I've noticed that happening. You're welcome, Silva. But yeah, I've noticed some people have just been automatically unsubscribed and didn't intend to do it. So make sure that you're subscribed, ding the notification bell. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter or join my Discord. Links to both of those are in the description below. Always remember, you're never required to donate to be a member of this community. You're not required to give money to be welcome here. Your time and your attention is payment enough. With that said, if you still feel motivated to ever give me any money to improve the stream or to improve my life, there are links below where you can do that in the description. Have yourselves a wonderful night. The next stream is going to be Friday night, 8:30 p.m. EST. Don't know what we'll be doing yet, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, have yourselves a good night.